You guys are both touching on reducing costs, which is where I want to spend the last couple minutes of our conversation here. And looking at the results from that poll, the majority of people said that they're currently scaling towards late stage clinical or commercial readiness. So as we end here, I want to hear from both of you, starting with Nathalie. I'm curious to hear what specific unit operations do you think are the biggest cost drivers downstream? And you already said that companies, it's never too early to think about scaling, but what would your advice be to our audience members out there who are currently trying to scale towards late stage or clinical and commercial readiness? Nathalie, I want to hear from you, and then I want to hear from Hung as we wrap up.
So 2.1, if you are not there yet and you are about to start your first CMC, your first IND, phase 1-2, there are decisions that you are making now that will impact how well and how fast and efficient your transition toward late phases will be. You don't need to produce large scale immediately for a phase 1-2, but I always recommend spend enough time to at least select a platform, whether you are going to work in eukaryotic cells, HEK293, or in another cell line or insect cell line. Are you going to do transfection? Are you going to do infection? Evaluate all these platforms with the end in mind, not maybe making the end like your primary goal, but knowing that after your phase 1, things can go fast and that you are ready to pivot to scalability. So spending some time deciding on the right platform, rule number 1, pick a platform that can grow with your project and can be scalable, both upstream and downstream. If you are already there, I think I still see that the chromatography steps are the major point in scaling up and moving toward large clinical trials and BLA. One example being, leaning on density gradient. Again, this was done like 50 years ago, and then it's kind of back on cesium chloride gradient because they are very efficient at separating, at cleaning, at increasing purity, and the recovery is relatively good from a cesium chloride gradient. However, it is a very cumbersome process to scale up and to scale up for BLA application. And it's been done, and it's done today on some commercially available AAV product, but it's something you may not want to have to do because it is painful. So it may help you to go through your phase 1-2 at small scale. It may not help you toward larger scale. So maybe you should not do it in the first place. I'm just saying this, every case is different, and you really need to assess it from your own lens and where you want to be. But making early decision on how you think it's going to progress toward the end will make the process toward commercialization easier. And I'm saying that because we all learn from what not to do. It's been a long process. I feel like we are at a good point here. I think like the field has matured enough for any platform or any vector you're using, matured enough to understand that CMC starts in your phase 1 and is going to walk along and help you make a successful program or clinical development toward the end. If you make small but right decision at the early on.
Thank you, Nathalie. Hung, anything you'd like to add there and close out on?
I think that's quick point like that. If you try to choose the CDMO partner, so if you're early if you think that they have a both clinical and commercial capability, this is the best to reduce the tech transfer, the process and deviation, also the time and cost. So if you do like systematic aviation, you want to see the commercial capability of 2000 later. And second point, in early process, if you look into the perfusion development, could be my advice.